Being like. It being 7:02, I'd like to call the meeting of August 12th to order. First thing on the agenda is open mic. Anyone want to speak on open mic? Right? We'll move on to the minutes of July 8th.
Motion to accept the minutes of July 8th as presented. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
4-0. Moving on to Board of Health business. ESA committee appointment. Daniel Viola.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we suspend that till the meeting because we do have other applicants for that. And I would like to give everyone a chance to be here to present themselves, if that's possible, please.
Works for me. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Can I just make a comment to
Yeah.
Daniel? Should I believe you're Daniel? So today, like last minute, we got another application from Mike Riley. And so the board just wants to hear all the applicants. So if you'd be able to come back next month, is that when you're taking?
Yes.
Okay, in September.
Does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking to find anybody for the spot. People said it was open, people told me I should come and,
Yeah.
you know, so.
No, we'd like to hear
Thank
both stories, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you for running the process.
Oh, I had to ask you a question.
Hmm?
Are you related to Judy Viola?
Not that I know of. There's a lot of Violas though.
She was a good friend of mine. I didn't think they'll work or something like that.
Be like East Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll reach out with more details in the next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next meeting is September 9th, 2024. Everybody okay with that?
September 9th, 2024. If we have any conflicts, we're going to be crucified for having two meetings in the same night.
That's what's happening right now.
I understand that, believe me, I know. I've heard it all day.
So now I'm gonna move on to the health department. Reports. We're gonna start with Christine West.
Okay, Mr. Out of order, so please apologize.
Christine, you have any comments on Christine?
Just. I thought was interesting was in your area. Case.
I don't have the reports.
Would you like my reports?
Yeah.
They were, mine were double-sided, so they're on the back.
No, I don't have
Very confusing.
You're welcome. We got it after that.
Yeah, no, I
Thank
don't.
you so much.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on
Yeah,
Christine's report?
yeah, actually, I have a question. The point number first, the vaccine, and we are talking about pneumonia vaccine, I believe it's 2023, and pneumococcal vaccine. And it's mentioned 13, is that indicate year when it was made?
I'm sorry, the pneumococcal vaccine or
Yeah.
like,
Pneumococcal. So if you look at the vaccines given out monthly, right? So just next to the pneumonia vaccine 23 written, and next to the pneumococcal vaccine 13 is written. Is that indicate a year it was made? I'm just confused with the number.
I will have to get back to you about that. Since I gave my copy, but you can. Oh, pneumonia 13, that's like the. or not quite that, but the strain pneumococcal 13 is another one. So they're two different, it's not the year, but she didn't give out any doses.
Okay, yeah.
That's why it's 0, but Those are the two different ones that people ask.
Okay. So it's not the year, it's just that different, like
Yeah.
some formulation. something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
Marie,
No, I'm all set for Christine.
Sandra,
Couple of questions. How many hepatitis C cases did we have last month at the House of Correction?
So, this is kind of it comes and goes in waves.
Uh-huh.
It's really, the hepatitis C is someone who's been living with it for a while. And most of the folks, at the House of Corrections are former users and they have hepatitis C and living with it. And so, if we see an active case, then we get involved, but, they're pretty much maintained.
All right, so these are
And the numbers
maintained from the
go up
last,
and
okay.
down depending upon the residents they have.
Right, so that was my question now. Malaria, unknown cause, no travel.
It's still under
That's-
investigation. Yeah, that's, why I want to say that one was unusual as well.
Right, and my other question was, how many? We're not tracking COVID numbers, but COVID numbers are increasing. Are we going to go back and track those through the wastewater again?
We still do get occasional reports from them. I can inquire. if we can
Please, yes, I
continue
want
the
to see
program.
if it's spiking upwards again, because I know in other areas it is trending upwards. And with kids going back to school, I just want to know the trend.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, I have one more question since I mentioned about COVID vaccine. I noticed you ordered COVID vaccine, right? Like, is it a latest variant or is it integrated with the, because I know there is a buzz about combination of COVID and flu together, so I'm just.
It may just be COVID, but it's what the state is handing out to all the local boards of health to apply for it.
Mhm.
So it'll be the latest and greatest based off of what the state has.
It's the booster, not the original.
Oh, sorry, the test, that's what we ordered.
Okay, so you ordered
Tests.
tests, not
Not the
vaccines.
oh,
Okay,
you didn't, oh, okay.
okay.
Ordered tests.
So you ordered tests.
Those are coming to us if you feel you want to let the community know.
Yes, I read my
Yeah.
stash again, because I go through them.
I'll let you know when we get them.
Okay, so you ordered tests, not a booster.
Not
Got it. Okay, just wanted to clarify. Sorry.
I read that, the director of health had said that at the time when they give the shots out, we can take the COVID and the flu shot at the same time.
You can
Are we
take
gonna,
the
do you think we will be doing that?
if we decide to purchase COVID vaccine or if we're getting it, if we obtain it from the state.
Thank you.
Are you interested in getting the updated COVID?
Booster, yes,
A
flu
booster.
shot, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I get the flu shot, I get pneumonia. It just doesn't work for me. so.
COVID, hell no.
No.
Flu shot, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the flu shot, that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
We all set with
Yeah.
Shayla, I mean with Christine?
Yeah.
Now moving on to Shayla Collins. Shayla's here, if anybody has any questions. Amit?
Well, first, I just want to thank Sheila Christine Harvey for setting the community table in the farmers market. It was well appreciated and some of my friends were there, so thanks for that. I have a question on point two, actually, I think there's some typo, I'm not sure. So first complaint is about Subway, which was addressed, but the point number two, is it about Subway again? I'm not sure. So.
about which one? I'm sorry,
So
which
when-
subway?
So when you go to the report, right, the first complaint is about Subway actually, right? But
Yeah.
the second complaint, is that about Subway again?
Both subways had complaints this past month.
And both have the same address?
You have them both at
Oh,
480
no.
Boston Road.
Yeah. Bristol mentioned that too.
Wait, yeah.
The
yeah.
bathroom one was 799 Middlesex Turnpike.
Okay,
The other one's 480.
Okay.
thank you.
Sure.
I'm like, how did they get two in one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so
I'm like,
curious.
they're the same day.
Yeah.
Marie?
Oh, I don't think it's here, but what happened with Manja Manja? They had a fire.
I'm
respond to that. They have a fire at the attic, caused by electrical, problem. And, I'm driving home, they called me, they said that we need the water power here, so, yeah. They're gonna be a bar before they open. It's
Really?
Yeah, almost completed bar.
Do they have to throw anything out, any food out? or
Yes.
anything? Do they? Okay.
Yeah, water damage and smoke. Caused that.
Oh,
Pretty much everything had to be thrown. out.
Almost,
Really?
almost a total loss.
Really?
Yes.
Again? You're not gonna double get six.
You might want to find another location.
Yeah.
You need to vote.
Oh, it's all manja.
Thanks,
Bobby.
Anything else, Maria?
No, I'm all set. That was my question.
Andrew?
Can you talk about number 3 for me, please?
Number 3 is, I'm sorry.
Purple Band-Aid.
Okay, yeah. So we had an original complaint. Actually, I think I went out and did an inspection first. And, I had some violations with them. And so Chris and I spoke, and then we had a meeting with, the manager. And, we had a consultant come in. And we explained the expectations, they hired them, I think it was only twice a month for them. And, I followed up with them, last week. I still saw some violations that I noted down, and their consultant's no longer working for them. So like, that because their time was up. But we're gonna talk about that more tonight.
Any questions for later?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Moving on. Bobby. Doctor, do you have any questions for Bobby?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. It's good to see so many cases are closed, but I'm also curious, like I see like almost 4 cases are going for court hearing, either this week or August 27th. Just I'm curious, what you guys think or Crystal think, like, or can we do something else, just to make sure, those cases are not going to the court hearing and providing additional burden on us.
Yeah, I can answer for that. If the case go too long, it's a housing, it's a gray area. So like a housing is go too long, we have to file it. So you have a court decision to do that. Sometimes it's a push, it's a last straw that I do it, just a push for the owner or the landlord that they need to start working faster. So when they see court, it's okay, I need to work this faster, so we can close the case faster. If the owner property and then have a hoarding issue, it's gonna be take months to year to finish that. And for somehow we have a housing regulation, we have to file for certain day of the order that been sent out. For example, I give them 30 days. If they request another 30 days, I agree with it. I send them the note, I agree with it. But the deadline here, if they not respond to the deadline, we have to take further action regarding to this.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. I also have a question on 19 Dinaker Drive. So, I mean, this is one example, the case was going forever. It just started last October 2023. And now we have a closing on interior, but still the exterior case is now going to the building department. I'm just curious that would take the same course or, because still the exterior is not safe, right, for the whole.
Let me explain that. This case is bringing because of the family issue. Husband and wife, they go through divorce. So the wife is there. The husband had to move out. And that case is long period of time because restraining order. They cannot finish probate court until in March. And then when the wife move out, run somebody out, the husband move in. He correct the violation inside. The inside of the violation for minimum standard of a housing code. I do inspection it's satisfied with the, with the code. I'm done with it. But outside for the structure, it's not our job to oversee it, it's the building department. So that's why I forward to the building department. He have a pending permit with the, with the building department.
Mhm.
And that's the building department responsibility to enforce that.
Thank you so much, and,
Oh, no problem.
That one was it's
Yeah.
very complicated.
Yeah.
And usually housing and or nuisance do take time,
Mhm.
and it's like, it depends per case of, how are we gonna enforce it? Are we gonna, send a letter out, an administrative order out, and that's typically what's done, and then a response happens. We make a decision, should we file in court? Should we assess a fine to it because of non-compliance? Some of the cases, like, we had some that like 80% of the materials removed from the property and then 10%, and then it's finally done. And so probably does a really good job of trying to work with the property owners, work with the occupants and whoever is residing on the parcel to get compliant, so that it's not a nuisance, minimum standards are being met. It does take a while.
Mhm. Yeah, I understand that. Thank you so much for that. Last question I had about that, the kitchen, the cooking, the Gina kitchen, which was doing cooking in the shed. And although they are saying, and it's observed that there is no more cooking, but still neighbors are complaining, and I see that case is closed. So what we should do now?
It's not close. I think probably closed on her report, but it's open with.
Close on my report because I have nothing to do with them.
Oh, okay.
I help Mr. Taylor because, she's starting to learn, so with the, the property owner, I've been dealing with property owner for years, so I know how to dealing with them. So that's why I try to help her out, assisting her how to go in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's definitely still ongoing.
And do you think we need to call them, and talk to one by one, I mean, I know you did
That was my
actually.
thought as well, to have them back in and talk to them about it, because I did talk to our attorney about it. He said if we can have, pictures from the abutter who made the complaint, who recently came forward with pictures to us about this complaint and date stamp them, that's, evidence that we can go to court, for, the cease and desist and say, hey, I'm concerned about the food products that are being produced in the shed, and that minimum sanitation standards aren't being met, that they're gonna get a lot of people sick because they're doing catering operation. Like Shayla observed, them cleaning dishes on their trampoline that their kids jump on, and so it's blowing my mind.
What don't they understand?
Yeah,
Right,
So,
so
It's family.
I got a little bit more information from the attorney, and he's going to work with us to move forward into court.
I hope they understand we are trying to save them, because this could be huge issue
It's
for
a
them,
big liability
yeah.
for them. And we did talk to her about it, she shook her head.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, she always shook her head, but she's not gonna follow.
Okay,
It's okay if she's operating from a licensed facility, but the concern is it's an unapproved facility, there's fire hazards in there, not
Yeah.
proper ventilation, and like my concern is her food safety. And
thanks.
Mrs. O'Rourke,
No, I'm all set.
Sandra,
Number 2, 23 Grove Street. The virtual court.
Oh, girl, it's in court already.
Info already, didn't know if anything was changed. the hearing.
Actually, the last inspection is almost done, it's only 37 left. So
Oh, okay,
the
so it
case
is
continue,
improving.
yeah, it's
Okay.
forward. Case continue to the 27th.
Mhm.
So I asked clerk magistrate to give him a chance to finish all of that.
Because we're at 50% in May,
Yeah,
27th?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure that it's still
Yeah,
progress there,
It's,
thank you.
it's progress,
Okay.
so, he have like a two bags outside, I always, do the follow-up inspection before court. Because I have to have something to update with
Right.
the magistrate or the judge.
Perfect, I knew you'd have an update for me, thank you. Number 22, under housing, my favorite subject.
Okay. Kanmarai, Roach.
When are we going to be able to say they all have to be disinfected at the same time?
We don't have any policy to, to enforce them. In the housing code, we only have, to enforce it, like, if, for example, the unit, located in the middle. So the bottom of the unit have to be checked. In violation, if they have it, they have to be exterminated. The top one, the adjacent side, and then be diagnosed, if they're in the middle. All right, it doesn't mean that you have to exterminate it, the whole building. That can cost, with the lawsuit. of the-
Right, but it seems to be every month it's in this building, it goes to this unit, then it jumps to this unit, and then it jumps to this unit. We're doing a circle here.
And we did, I recommend them, we only can recommend them, we don't have.
So there's nothing in the
Yeah, we
housing
don't have
code that
authority.
says we can do this. Is there any way to approach the management company and say, this is in your own best interest?
I did,
But did.
I did with the, 4 Riverhurst, Villa Old Concord, because of the infestation that I found it, I did the whole building. That is the the management, they cooperated, they did not cooperate, we don't have that authority for that, we only can have authority. This have to be checked, they have to be evaluated, and that have to be exterminated.
Or it has
So
to.
there's nothing that we
Yes.
can do.
The management. It's frustrating. It's not-
And make them understand it would be.
It depends, like management, like, Nine Kanmarai. Nine Kanmarai, you know what the management is, they blaming the occupant. Some occupant, they agree to give the access to the pest control to do a violation to exterminate it. But some unit, they not agree the access.
Oh.
So that's the trigger.
So they couldn't do the
Yeah, they
whole
couldn't do
building.
the
because
whole
some
building
people
because
don't
of that,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
When they refuse it, they put, the note, they refuse it, nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna keep asking you about it.
Expected you.
Just a follow-up on that, is it possible to talk to management, and see if they can make change in their policy in their hand,
It's just like a smoking in the
Yeah.
building. We cannot do their own policy, we just tell them, provide the policy, the smoke cannot migrate it into the building. So how far do you, put your designated of the smoker? So it's the same thing. We're gonna put on to the management how they do it.
But the occupant doesn't have to.
If the occupant, if they refuse it, so that between the occupant and the management, if they have nothing to do with it. Just like, they not pay rent, and then they call me, 99.9%, when they let rent, they call me to do inspection. Because they don't want to pay, and nothing I can do for that.
So this.
Yeah, because, related to money, we can't do anything about it.
So just to be, making sure, that the management is calling us to do the inspection for them, or the tenants are calling us.
The tenant call.
Yeah.
Management never called us.
What?
Once in the blue moon,
Aren't those condos,
yes.
so the owner of the condos is responsible
Well,
for that unit?
that's why I said it's management.
The same.
Nine
HOA.
cannot ride, the management, they provide the pest control services for the condo owner. It's come with the condo fee.
Can we talk to the HOAs to see if they would be willing to do it? If you put it into the HOA docs.
So if we wanna move in that direction, we
I just think it would be
can.
beneficial.
It's a big initiative.
I understand. It's just a big step in a different direction, I get that. And it is an expense, I get that. But every month we have a different unit on this report that has roaches.
Or it's a complaint about roaches and you either verify it or don't verify it. And we, through that process, she also finds out that management has also treated, has done the treatment. And they're calling because you treat once and it's like 2 weeks, you have to treat again, and you might see roaches in those in-between times. And so the occupant's calling, we're still seeing roaches, nothing's been done, or I'm not satisfied with management's response. And maybe the occupant hasn't done what they need to do for roach treatment with bagging up all their materials and their belongings. It's
More or less.
complicated.
They want, some of them they treat already, they've been in treatment, but they wanna get out of the list to the cops.
Thank
So-
you.
You're welcome. That's how it
Mr.
is.
Chairman, I have a question.
Pardon me?
I have a question, if I might, on Pavi, number 26 Pavi. What's happening?
Open man,
Yeah,
jungle breed, they remove it, but the septic system still,
There's a failing septic
Yeah, I
system.
know.
septic system.
that,
well, what's happening?
They're having it pumped regularly and they're exploring options for upgrade with an engineer. But they're also talking about selling the property. I don't know what they really want to do.
Okay,
I'm trying to figure it out. But there was a lot of occupants living there, which I think caused the system to fail. People are moving out, but it's in hydraulic failure, so the field needs to be modified and upgraded. That was a repair that was done in 2005, no,
2003, Mr. Rivero.
yeah,
You remember that?
I do.
I believe she tried to talk to me, she want us to help, I already informed, Crystal that they never finished the payment, they still owe us 3,000, a little over than 3,000. So they opened the house, look like a rumor house, so they collected rent, why we had to help them to pay it? So I talked to the owner already, you have to find the money, repair the system. Cannot help you.
Speaking of fixing septic systems, how are we doing on Pond Street?
It's been fully repaired.
What?
Yeah. Pond Street is now.
They've got a new one?
They have a new system in the ground and they have sod and seed spread out and you just have to water.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's good.
It was a little challenge from getting there.
Yeah, but that's
Very
good. It's taken care of.
And also during the installation, a little bit of a challenge between the son and Greg Ellich was kind enough to do that. To do it.
Oh, very good.
So,
That's good to know.
Very recently. so-
Okay.
Great goals, we give them. That's it.
Yep.
Oh, we had to.
Yes.
We
Are we
know
all
him.
set now? on
Yeah,
property?
I'm all set.
How many can we lose?
Thank you,
Thank you very much, Bobby.
thank you.
Okay, next we're going on to.
Do
Stephanie
you need
Select.
me to stay?
You're welcome to stay,
Welcome to.
but I know one thing, you're not nuts about it. Stephanie Slack,
Yeah.
doctor,
Oh, yeah, I have a question regarding to homeless resident actually. Bethany was able to help, just curious, what happened later on. Because there was some report that there was a homeless resident who was sleeping behind the library or the church for almost 2 weeks. So I'm just curious that if this is the same person that's being held.
These were different people than the library. But I can get information about the ones that she helped.
Okay, thank you.
Have they been connected with other services?
She has done her referrals to connect with other services.
Marie,
No,
Sandra,
Work with Council on Aging and Veteran Services to assist residents looking for affordable housing.
yeah,
How is that going?
I think it's complicated because an individual can come into the Board of Health, can come into Council on Aging, and the ultimate goal is to provide services and assist them to get to address their need. So the housing issue, something that definitely keeps, at least the time period that she's worked here is identified as it needs to be addressed, this gap. And so she's been meeting with Council on Aging and veterans about this, and so we can have a more unified approach to it.
So we haven't gotten past finding the approach.
They met last week, and wanted to talk about it. As you know, Council on Aging does one thing and has certain services that apply to the ones who are seniors in the community. Veterans can pull together things for veterans, and then Bethany is addressing someone else who doesn't qualify for maybe those programming, and where can she put them into and provide resources to.
I'm just trying to figure out where the dwelling is, not who's providing the service, but where is the domain? And this seems to be a problem that we're having is the housing, the actual location. Everyone's got services, everyone has referrals, but where is the domain that they're actually residing?
It depends.
well, they
Are
could
we finding them, is what I'm asking.
be a lot of places in April that she use them lately.
Okay, so it is Haverhill, we're shipping out to Haverhill, and we're going to Lawrence still.
Stand does too.
Okay. I didn't know if we found any here, but to keep our residents here. I know, that's what,
Okay.
we keep talking about it, but we just don't have any.
Oh, they were supposed to be doing something about that. So I don't know where it's at.
I just want to know where we are in that process. Also, thank you.
okay. Now, we're gonna move on to.
Um,
Do you need this?
No, there was a lot of septic replacement or upgrades the past couple months. Typically during the spring, folks want to sell their homes, they need a Title V done before the home is sold. And then the Title V shows that something is failing, so a D-box needs to be replaced, or the whole system needs to be replaced, so I was very busy with that. And then also just covering administrative duties for Joanne. And the staff's been really good at pulling together about trying to help out the other clerks, so all the duties aren't on all the permitting clerks, but things like processing permits. She did all the food establishment permits, which is 191 food establishment permits, to do the renewals and send them out. So we have interviews Wednesday, and hopefully we'll have a good candidate and have them trained up and hopefully to better off next month.
Have you interviewed anyone at all?
Not yet.
Doctor, do you have any questions?
Yeah, just a quick question. How is that meeting with Market Basket? You know,
So we, the pre-construction meeting occur, so, it went pretty well. However, during the pre-construction meeting, Christina Papadopoulos on behalf of DPW was talking about, their drainage basin that they designed, and, there's a sewer easement, and, the basin is on top of the sewer easement, so, that's, needs to be addressed before they move forward with any stormwater plans.
Mhm.
But the interior market basket, as you can see, probably as I'm going inside, is really coming along as well.
Thank you.
They have a timeline of completion.
They want to, well, they're moving forward in phases. I'm- No, I feel like it's very aggressive and want to do it over the fall and maybe in the spring, but now they need to address sewer, because that wasn't on the. Or, 700 road market basket.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to provide any comments. Actually, no, that's not integral to this conversation, so thank you. Good.
Okay.
We use the box or whatever you said is under the floor. What did you say about something under the floor that? No.
A distribution box underground for septic.
I think so, it was under the floor somewhere.
One of the easements, one of the sewer.
So the sewer easement, for market basket, it's behind the building, and I'm not part of sewer and the regulations, but the drainage basin, how they designed it, the sewer line, the easement for it is, not on top, but, adjacent to it. And so Fred was looking at it saying, they need to be separated and make sure that the sewer is protected. So Market Basket is trying to figure out what to do with that.
I know, I still noticed they dug out.
Yep.
McDonald's, and what they're gonna do.
So yes, they put all the straw wattle down to
Mhm.
protect all the resource areas. Isabel and myself walked around and observed that that's part of the pre-construction, to make sure that everything is protected.
And meeting with the neighbors, did they do that and how did that go?
I suggested that they do that. Also, Christina suggested that they do that. I did not hear how it went.
I know we, in the last meeting, we had suggested that they discuss things.
They did, and then they had an additional question for a house that's, I think on Acadia, that they were asking to have a sewer out there. But they were trying to figure out what to do with Market Basket. They should entertain that. It's just gonna be the request that everyone's gonna be asking for
Right,
sewer
yeah.
to start it.
Okay, thank you.
We're all set, reports? Okay. Now we're gonna move smartly. On to, Berkeley Concord Road. 161 Concord Road.
Mr. Jim Dangor, good evening, folks, for Berkeley. Before you was a request to extend a stormwater management permit that was issued by this board in September of 2024 for Berkeley's project at 161 Concord Road. This was a project that was fully permitted. We actually started with town meeting, rezoned a part of the property. We then went off to site plan with planning board. We then went off to conservation, got their approval, and ended up getting the approval from you folks with through Beta. So if you recall, it was a 203,000 square foot GMP building. Berkeley is targeting a very specific end user, a lab or a pharmaceutical company that can utilize the type of building that they intend to construct. They haven't found the perfect match yet, and unfortunately, their 2-year permit will be coming to an end. So we would like a 2-year extension if we may. Planning board heard us, they extended their permit. We have a request into conservation to do the same, although they're a 3-year permit, not a 2-year permit like you folks. So we're here to respectfully request that you validate all of that hard work that we did for approximately 24 months. Give us a chance to dance in the market further and just extend that stormwater management program. Thank you.
Any questions from the board?
No,
Any concerns from Crystal, any concerns from Barry?
You're done. You're done.
Um,
How about Phil? You have any?
I mean, they were compliant when we approved it, right?
Crystal?
Nothing's changed since.
No,
one
no
minute,
comments.
2-year extension.
No comments from anybody, so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to extend the permit for the extension of the stormwater management for the request for
2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're
Good
welcome.
evening.
Thank you, Attorney Gregory. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Moving on. Roy Brothers, 54 Boston Road. West for regular, waiver of regulation.
Good evening, thanks for having me. My name is Bill Brochu, I'm with GES. Last time I was here was about a month ago, and Stefan Sokol was presenting. He took off for vacation, so he left me to finish this up. So as you may recall, we were here for a variance for work in the waiver, right, I'm sorry, in the floodplain. And at that point, we, on July 8th, we did not yet have our Conservation Commission approval, but we have secured that as of July 15th. We don't have our order of conditions yet. We reached out to Isabel to see the status of that, and she didn't get back to us yet. So, but they did approve it. So I think that was the largest holdback for your board last time. So I can answer any further questions.
Emmett, do you have any questions?
no,
Marie,
No, I'm all set.
Joe?
Why no order of conditions yet? That doesn't make sense that it would be so delayed, Crystal.
So, the order of conditions, Isabel is backed up on several projects, and so, it's really, how she can get them out. She did tell me that, they have been approved, and this is a project that they're trying to remediate the property. The waiver is for removing all that soil or that's within the floodplain that is, contaminated, and they're moving more soil back in, that's not contaminated and, same grade.
Correct.
It's basically just because it's all the contaminations. It's not a waiver to give them a special permit to do other things. It's
No.
only to clean up the site is
Yes.
what the waiver is for, is what we're granted. Just to make that clear, because I know
Yes.
there's been some miscommunications out there that they're going to do special projects and not clean up this, but this waiver is to clean the property,
Yes.
not to enhance the property. It's just to clean the property right now.
Correct, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's clearly
Should
documented.
they move forward with wanting to do a project to modify the property, then that would be a variance.
Correct, but this is to clean the property, not to
Yes.
modify.
Right.
Just want to make that well known.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Understood.
Any abutters like to speak on this?
Or-
Oh, public, you can
It's okay, okay.
Can you just,
So-
state your name for the record? so we
Sure.
can-
Diana Saunders,
Awesome.
Saunders, Saunders. And my question is this, I've lived down there,
Sorry, Diana,
Oh,
where
sorry.
do you, what's your address?
20 Oxford Road.
Thank you.
I told you I'm not a butterfly.
Yeah, which is fine, we just
Okay.
need to have a document
All right.
for our records.
I grew up in that area. So where Roy Brothers is, it backs up to the river, Flushing. Now you have it on this side too, you have the marsh, which is where J Pacific is. Their parking lot gets flooded every time it rains because of the marsh. Now, you're taking the soil out and you're replacing it, but what about the water and all the habitat there? Because there's a lot of habitat. If any of you haven't been down there, because there's fish in that water, believe it or not, turtles, there's other things in there. What about if the soil's contaminated, what about the water?
We do not have any evidence that the contamination that's currently in the soil is making its way into the water in the river. We have several monitoring wells that we sample periodically, so we're watching for that, and it's not occurring. The material in the ground that we're gonna remove, it's kind of a thick and goopy sort of material. And yeah, the best way to remove it is just physically strip it out of there and haul it away.
And then you're gonna put better stuff in there.
Yeah, we'll put clean material back in there, and then we will, we've got, I'm not exactly sure what species we'll plant, but whatever is there, we'll reseed that with matching species.
So you haven't tested the water.
They have tested the
They
water.
have.
They have tested the water, and right now the water is not contaminated. They want to clean it before it becomes contaminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I want to make sure, because
They recently did more monitoring wells and got updated data about what's in the ground and like the spread of it.
I haven't been in the back. I know Dana Trucking is back there,
That's right.
and I don't know, I haven't been in back of the building. But growing up, there was, we used to go canoeing down there, so. Yes,
It's not in the water. They want to clean it up before it gets in the water, and that's what we're trying to do.
my other question is, since you're taking the soil out and putting new soil in, how is that gonna affect the water line? The water levels?
It won't. We're going to match the existing grade, and it'll just be a one-for-one trade, and won't be any change in the slope or anything. So, yeah, it won't affect the water.
Because Marsh Brook gets water, flooded out. And they even have, I know the DPW has been down there, and they even have widened that on Marsh Brook, the fence, because the water's coming over. So, you know, we're getting into fall and winter. So that's gonna be, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge for us to do this excavation, but yeah, we feel it needs to be done. So, yeah, we just have to go for it.
You answered my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How deep are you going with the, oh, 5 down you want to remove?
About 8 feet. So, yeah.
Any other questions?
No, he answered them, what we were concerned about at the last meeting, he
Yeah.
just answered the question. Thank you very much.
Then
Sure, go ahead.
I'm just gonna take a motion.
Yeah, so,
Let's make a motion.
yes, I make a motion to grant waiver of regulation for Roy Brother, 764 Boston Road.
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next is Knoxbridge Partners. 15, 317, 319, Trouble Cove Road. Good evening.
On behalf of our Line North Search Partner, my name is Todd Moore. I'm with Beals Associates, so Matthew Costa from our office, and Jeffrey Sullivan from Northbridge is here with us as well. Is there a way he can either connect to plug his computer into that. It's on a thumb drive. He's got a presentation that has
You have
some
it on
pretty
the
good
thumb drive?
color site plans.
If you have
Plug it
it,
Slide the desk over if that makes it easier.
Charges.
While he's working on the technical part of this. let me start. The reason we're here tonight is to request a stormwater management permit as well as 2 variances from your rules and regulations. The project located at a series of new addresses off of Treble Cove Road. It's a formerly subdivided or recently subdivided piece of land from the Lantheus campus. So Lantheus will be on one side of this 301 Treble Cove Road, which was constructed fairly recently. Moving at the front, there's an existing driveway that actually goes up between. That's how we'll access the back property. There's 2 buildings that are currently on the site. There used to be 3 on the site. One has been raised with its parking lot demolished. The other 2 buildings remain. They're both vacant right now. Utilities are being cut off to those. And along with those are various parking, sidewalks, access drives. So it doesn't need redevelopment for the Mass DEP stormwater standards, but it is a redevelopment of a previously developed project. What we're proposing is to remove the 2 existing buildings, all the interior roadways, all the interior parking, sidewalks, and all the interior utilities, and to construct 3 new buildings. These will be what we refer to as GMP buildings, some kind of research development, advanced technology. First building on the front, as you come into the site, will be about 98,000 square feet. Parking on the front side, and on the back side will be a utility and loading trucks. Perfect. Don't sit down. That's the first building, the longer rectangular building that you see there that I mentioned. The other 2 buildings are about 58,000 square feet each. They're identical, they're just mirrored. And again, interior to that is where we propose our utility and loading areas. So all of that activity is interior to the site. All around the perimeters, you have parking and access drives. The stormwater management system we've gone under several rounds of peer review with the folks at Beta. It's been a pretty good process. We have to thank Phil and his team for getting us through that. Like I said, there were about 3 or 4 rounds that we went through of some pretty rigorous comments. I believe he sent in his final letter. There are a few things that he defers to the board for final consideration on. But for the most part, when it comes to the local and state standards, we met the regulations with a few exceptions. Those are the variants. The first variance that we are seeking is to work within 25 feet of the floodplain. There are 2 areas. Okay, there's 2 areas on the site right there on that slide in front of you where we're removing 433 square feet of impervious area. That's in the upper corner. The box points to it there. And in the lower portion, we're looking to remove just over about 1,000 square feet of sidewalk area. That's actually in an area that we are proposing for some wetland replication. The wetlands that we're filling in are 2 isolated pockets. One we think is a remnant of an old sediment basin when this campus was originally constructed, and the other is a groundwater seep up behind one of the existing buildings. As soon as we leave this hearing tonight, we're going to go to the Conservation Commission. We're going to wrap up the process with them. And then the other 2 areas where we will be working within 25 feet of the floodplain, it's on the front portion of the road where we're actually adding 46 square feet of pavement. I think it's 46 square feet of pavement where that road bends. Very, very small area. And then when we went through the planning board process, before these site plan and special permits were issued by them, we went back and forth on a series of options for sidewalks. They'd like us to extend sidewalk from our driveway all the way down to a connection that Lantheus is going to make for some of their improvements. It's 700 or 800 feet down Treble Cove Road. That's on the upper portion of that slide there. That does also require some work within 25 feet of the floodplain, right off the edge of the pavement of Trouble Cove Road. So those are the areas that we're working within that bound, that buffer. We're not actually working within the floodplain. The second variance that we need to talk to you about is to allow a building floor slab that is within, or actually below, the groundwater table. So the existing building that's in the back corner today was built, we believe that that was built below the groundwater table. The reason we believe that is on the very bottom, as Matt pointed out there, there's a groundwater seat. And that's one of the isolated wetlands that we're filling in. That groundwater seat comes out of the embankment from the area up by the jail. All that groundwater is flowing in a generally planned north direction here towards the BVW that surrounds Dolly Brook. Dolly Brook, if you know the area, runs down through the site, crosses under Treble Cove Road and enters Winnie Pond. So today, as it comes out, hits that groundwater seat, it comes around the corner of the building, enters a catch basin, and is then transported across the site and discharged back into the vegetated wetlands. The other areas of that slope make their way to the existing access drive that's out there, hits a series of catch basins along that access drive, and are discharged in another area, again, into the wetlands that surround Dolly Brook. So that groundwater is moving in that direction through the site today. So what we'd like to do, put our new building in. Our new building will be about the finished floor will be about 3 feet below the existing building today. We have some groundwater test pits that we had to do for our stormwater that shows groundwater to be about 6 or 7 feet below that as you move further into the site. But on that slope, we're still going to be in that groundwater table where the seep happens. So we have an engineered slope design on that. It'll be a riprap slope, fairly steep, and then we'll have a collector drain at the bottom of that. In addition, what we're proposing is our subdrains below the floor slab of the building, and some of the areas of the parking and access drive will also have pavement collector drains. The idea is to maintain the existing direction of the groundwater. We're not trying to collect it and put it anywhere that it's not already going. So some of those collector drains will go into one of the adjacent to one of the discharge points that are out there today. The rest of it will go towards the other discharge point. Really, we're just keeping everything flowing in the same direction is the idea. But we have those subdrains to allow us to build those slabs, build those parking lots. Those are the two variances.
No retaining wall.
No retaining. No, it's cut slope, and then we've got large stone face on it.
Oh, okay.
So, for the record, Phil Paradis of Data Group, we've had a chance to review this, as was mentioned. This is a challenging site and very aggressive in terms of build out as well. But the design, as far as we've seen, meets the standards for all of the 10 standards, Mass DEP standards, as well as the town's regulations relating to TSS removal and phosphorus removal. So I think this site also offers a unique issue, as was mentioned about the groundwater table. The groundwater varies significantly across the site. And this is for two reasons. One is the significant topographic challenge, but also the fact that the soils on the whatever direction that is on that side, north, is that north?
North is here.
Yeah, north side of the site is poorly drained. So although they're gonna put in a subdrain and lower, I wanna say maybe what, 50 to 100 feet wide section on that side.
It's, yeah, once we get done, in the parking lot side, it might be a little bit wider than that. And then you're right, it kind of tapers down. So as you move to the plan west here, it gets a little bit narrower. So it varies from 50 to 150 feet.
although I've been reviewing these situations for the town for 15 years. I've never seen a site like this relative to the groundwater issue and asking for the variance from that separation. I don't believe it's gonna be detrimental to either the wetland or the upland area, because the soils in that area are poorly drained. It takes a long time for the water to get through the soil, so it's not like they're not like they're gonna flush out the whole upper hill. Right now, it seeps out of the hill naturally, so it's at a very slow rate, so. So in general, I don't see it as detrimental. It does make its way to the wetlands naturally. And they are providing recharge throughout all the good soils as well, so that's there's gonna be a balance there as well, so.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I mean, I have a question on the second, which Phil was mentioning. So it looks like whatever they are trying to do will not be effective, although it won't be detrimental, for anything. But it won't be effective, especially the slab elevation or the floor elevation to the side, right?
Sorry.
So what I'm trying to say is that whatever the plan, right, they are proposing for the site, right, it won't be effective.
Yeah, so, I mean, we did work with them. They did raise the pipe system so that it's not as deep as it was. They kind of minimalized that and, yeah, so I don't see it having a big impact.
But you're saying not effective, you're saying not detrimental. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so that's my concern is that, so it won't be detrimental to the overall.
It's not
surrounding.
detrimental, right, so it will
Yeah.
work, it'll work, it's not that it's not effective. It will work, but it will not cause harm to the other area.
My impression is that it won't cause harm to the other area,
Mhm.
but it won't be effective to the site itself, because there's a groundwater issue and also the water, the surrounding soil has a very low permeability actually.
So I think he's saying that it will be effective, it won't be detrimental to the plant and the landscaping. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. So the water table is following not as steeply as the grade because it's coming out of the slope. So they are putting, can you go back to the detail? Yeah, see, they're putting a stone slope. So the water will come out of the soil and then go down the slope to hit the drain. Okay, and that will be above, see, show them what the existing grade is right now.
Existing grade.
Yeah, so they're gonna lower that whole portion down. So that'll collect all the water that's flowing this way and protect the building, so it shouldn't be a problem to the building.
Okay.
And it will be, like I said, because of the poorly draining soils, it's not gonna extend into the adjacent parcel.
Okay.
Make more sense?
Yeah.
Maurice,
No. I'm good. Yeah, I'm all set, right?
Sandra,
I'm good, and I love that you're extending the sidewalks.
And I have one
Extending
more
the
question.
sidewalk,
So,
extending the sidewalk.
when you are, so let's suppose you get the variance today, right, and everything gets done, then when you gonna start the process, would that be this month or?
The construction process?
Yeah.
Probably, 2 to 3 months away.
Could be.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Yeah, I should mention, so planning board has issued their site plan special permit, we're all set with that. And we're hoping to get the final approval from Concom later this evening,
So we could make our recommendations based on their approval.
contingent on,
It's in,
contingent on the conservation commission.
Any abutters would like to speak? You know, abutters? Sure.
Can you expand details about paved drain blockers?
You can, we can give you a sample.
Our stormwater engineer wasn't very familiar with it.
So I'm actually gonna let Matt, I'm gonna let Matt speak to that because it's a technology he discovered. It's pretty
Guys
interesting.
talk about it, because, we're familiar with the shut-off valves. But we want to talk about the paved drain blocker, because she also said she refers to the Board of Health and Commission regarding this.
Sure. I do not work for the company, but this is something that we've used on a couple sites before. And this is a sample of this product here. So in general terms, you lay this, it would be standing on, we have it proposed on signposts right next to the catch basins. And it attaches right to a post and it'd be something similar to that, or this one here would also have a sign above it. So in the event that there is a spill, that truck driver or whatever it may be can just simply open this up, to open that tube up, pull that blocker out, put it on top of the catch basin and shut off the spill right there. What we found is gate valves that are located right at catch basins take time to let me pass this around. Well, it's not overly sticky on the bottom, but you can see how it works and how it can stick to the ground. But we found that gate valves can take time, especially during the winter months. Somebody has to go inside that building, find the key, find where that gate valve shut off pipe is, open up that rim, turn that gate valve, which can be pretty difficult in order to shut that down. So this is something that somebody can go out, grab it right off that fence post right next to the catch basin, lay it down on top of catch basin and shut that off. For where there's catch basins against the curbs where the town requires those curb inlets, we also have this other separate product, very similar. Another, just place it right over that curb inlet, it sticks to the concrete of the curb and the pavement. The drain blocker can also sit right on top of that, and the same thing, it can instantly shut down. These things last for years, they're actually reusable too, you can just take them out, simply wash them off with soap and water. And they're pretty strong, you can drive over them if they're up there for a certain period of time. So it's a newer product that can be used to instantly shut down and protect the filtration systems and the stormwater system.
Good sense.
Do you have experience with paved drain blockers?
I don't, but it looks like a simple enough
Yeah.
operation that is much simpler than a gate valve, so.
Right.
And
Quicker too.
probably less problems.
I think, yeah, our concern, as Matt was trying to say, is that this is, if something happens, this is almost instant.
Yeah.
Because they're right there, very easy to use, where you don't have to go in, who knows where the wrenches and the keys end up for the vehicles, so nobody has to chase them down.
Okay.
Seems like a pretty good product.
We'll accept the motion.
Make a motion, we grant the variance for development within 25 feet of the floodplain and a variance for basement floor slab elevation for 315, 317, 319 Treble Cove Road with the recommended conditions in the fatal letter dated July 31st, 2024. And all of this is contingent upon the approval.
From conservation.
Yes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You might have to take that sample from conservation. We can send one to you if you like it. I'll tell you what, we'll come back next month. I can guess. Questions. Thank you so much.
Good job.
Appreciate that.
I think it's good.
Sit on the side. There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Good.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Okay. Moving on smartly. Moving on to. Yeah, purple bamboo. Administrative hearing.
Good evening.
Want to state your name and address, please?
Also, 265 Boston Road, the restaurant is reason I'm here because of the consultant, the full consultant under,
Speak up. Yeah.
no, best, no,
Can't hear
I'm
you.
sorry. Kind of nervous, because, on the third month, they like, seems as a negative, email report, but first month and second month, there is no critical, email, report. Reasons why on the, this is what I want to say, reasons why on the third month, she wrote a critical, like a negative report, because on the third month, I just remind him, say, Roger, this is your last month, full pay, cash, full pay. And he said, no, suppose a 6 month. I show him the, what is that, the contract is a 3 month. And since then, she, and then on the whole July, she wrote since I have a lot of critical condition. And also one thing that bothered me, she told me that, he said, when she take the job for the consultant 3 months, and she told me that if you pay the cash, I will like a bullet report for you. I have all the receipt here. You guys want to see it? So the cash pay for him. So you want to see it?
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Robert. This I paid the 8,300.
It's helpful, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't. After reading this whole thing.
Yeah, and this is I signed it for him the 3 months.
Yeah.
And she said she don't tell me the 6 months. I have no clue.
One, you did fire a cook too.
Yeah, because him, I need a fire cook because I push them hard. And also because the summertime. Summertime is normally for the restaurant industry, it's very quiet. But for the 3 months, I pay him the 8,300. So normally summertime I didn't get paid for July and August. But because consultant, 8,300, so I feel bad because I just tell him I just lay off you for the maybe 1 or 2 months. When the consultant when the health things is done, and I hire him back, and I will increase his pay, And also I hired a new pay control company, and they do a good job. And then it's a significantly, it's a progress. It's a nobody compare. It also, and then because this company is good, they ask me pay him 1 year's full pay. They need to ask me pay them for 1 year. So this is what I hired a new company. That they get 800 for the whole year. They ask me to pay the full for the whole year first. And that used to be companies that pay I pay them monthly.
Used to have Terminix.
Terminix is another good job.
And then we got a complaint about a mouse in the dining room. I went out to investigate.
Yeah.
And that's when the consultant was already there, so he changed companies to Northwest.
Yeah.
But if the people that work there
Oh,
don't
no.
get it,
Yeah,
he can have these people come in, stay all day,
yeah.
and it's not gonna make a bit of difference. The help needs to be trained more and make them understand what they're doing is wrong. Keeping uncovered chicken, you can't do that. And I mean, I read this whole thing and I was absolutely amazed. They just don't understand cleanliness and what's safe when you're dealing with the public and we're talking about food. And I go there quite often. I'm overthinking after reading this.
Yes.
You got the floor if you like it.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know how far you want me to go back, but I did an inspection, I think in May.
Yeah.
The original inspection. And then, that's when Chris and I decided that they should get a food consultant. He worked with, Roger
Raja Khan.
Quad.
Yeah.
And then that's when, again, we got the mouse complaint and we're not addressed that. And Roger was constantly sending me reports and updates. And then I went out last week and did another, inspection just to kind of see where things were at. Still seeing violations, pretty regular violations that I've seen at the restaurant. And Roger did send me an email telling me he was done working with Warren because the 3 months were up. But you did explain all of the stuff you just explained to me while I was there, so.
I mean, if you have any questions,
I completely agree with what Mary said. So there are two issues. Very first issue is regarding the pest control and everything, which can be managed because now you are having a support, not just pest control and all. But my bigger issue is when I see the repeated violation, like there's no labeling, the utensils are not properly washed, or they were kept, in unclean area. These are bigger problems to me actually, because even the premise looks good, but if you don't follow in full hygiene, that's a bigger concern. And I completely agree with Mary, this has to be trained properly, and you have to take the initiative in that. I personally feel that you also need the training actually, and then once you get the training, then you need to hire the employees who understand the food and safety codes actually. Otherwise, these issues are not going to address it.
So, training to one and staff, and then was supposed to be, bi-weekly audits, which he did provide. From what he, so, sorry, while you're talking, you asked me, was, training provided, right?
correct.
And so what I'm saying is.
By the consultant.
By the consultant. And Roger did train your staff earlier on. And then he was supposed to do bi-weekly audits. And so he did conduct those. Initially, they were pretty good from what we were looking at, what you saw. But then, the mouse, complaint happened, and then further on, those repeat violations kept coming up. But what Roger, I've had several discussions with him. He said that when Juan is present, there's not as many violations, but on his days off, it's not good. And you need days off, like anybody. So he was recommending Roger, but I would also agree with
Right.
Roger is a consultant that was hired. He's a reputable consultant. He's more focused on the South Shore because he's based out of Quincy, I believe.
Yes, from the place.
So he came up here to the river. But his observations is train the staff again and continue with the food consultant. And also, or hire a kitchen manager. Someone who's trained in food safety, who can manage the staff, especially when one is away.
I have a woman. Do you know what her name was?
Maureen Lee.
That's right. She was wonderful.
Yes, and then Maureen does speak, offer Chinese. Her husband is Chinese, and so that's a consultant that you could recommend if you want to do that. It's very evident to me that Roger and Juan don't get along. I don't think that relationship will be good to help Purple Bamboo out in what they need to do. I think another consultant could come along and retrain staff. I think the other gap is having the correct staff while you're away, a person in charge, which is required by the food code, is that you need a knowledgeable person there who can have active managerial controls and be able to be responsible for maintaining standards. And that's not happening. So there's, I think, two gaps right now, needing another food consultant, but also having a kitchen manager when one is away.
Because
I recommend Maureen. I thought she was wonderful.
Okay.
Well,
Can I say something?
well,
Because this is Marie, this is Chinese, this is Marja, the consultant. She texted me, she said, this is Chinese, but you can take a picture, interpret. They said, don't hire more than three.
Why?
I don't know, this is what the Raja tell me. She
Somebody
text,
said not to hire Maureen Lee?
Raja, my consultant, is what she
Who
texted me.
said that?
Raja,
Consultant,
consultant.
Yeah, well, Roger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe your consultant.
Get more Roger.
Why we get rid of all? Why you want you to have 3 more months?
Yeah, it's she want us 3 months.
$8,300 is a
No,
lot of money.
No, it's a 4,400 a week, and on top of that, he needed me pay him the letter email report, average $120.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is why
wow.
she will check this channel. We do the best we can. We do what he
Unfortunately, the
can.
best you can do is not,
Enough. I'm not saying enough, but this why I hide all the new I just she tell
but if you
me.
don't hire a new company, you're gonna close the restaurant.
Yeah, this why I hide that.
There's not an option in there. Do you
Yeah.
wanna
No.
keep the business
Yeah,
open?
I do.
Yes.
I do, yes, this
Then
why.
you need to have a
Yeah.
kitchen manager and a new consultant, because
Okay.
what's working now is not,
Maybe I
It's
can
not
hire a
working.
new, the kitchen manager.
not maybe.
No, I mean, I hire them, the kitchen
Yeah.
manager. I said,
You need a new
Big-
consultant too.
yeah, I know.
And Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
you also need to train your employee, like, because when you are seeing that the chef who is preparing the food, not using the gloves, the food safe gloves actually, and touching the food and putting the cooked food on the floor and all, this is just not acceptable, right? So, you really need to, I personally think that you also need the training, and whoever the person you hire, I would actually let Sheila interview that person first, actually, just to make sure that that person understands, like, first, what kind of, the job he's getting into. I mean, that's very
What's
important.
important?
And second thing, whoever the person, has to understand that there is serious violation going on, and he or she would be responsible to cure this actually, so.
You understand what he said?
No.
20-30%.
Yeah. So you need to probably get a new consultant,
Uh-huh.
and that lady, from what we're hearing, is very good, to get what Roger told you.
Yeah, this is what I
I think
like.
Roger was worried for more about.
Yeah, let's leave send
Let's
Roger
leave
home.
Roger
Send him to
home.
Quincy.
And probably won't cost you as much as it did before, and
Yeah.
you need to hire somebody, especially when you're not there.
Okay.
But I think these things need, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, she will, hopefully, Mrs. Lee will help train everybody again. That's what needs to be done. So this doesn't keep happening for you. You don't need this. You don't need the stress.
Yeah, very stressed.
Yeah.
You're losing weight,
Yeah, I didn't have. the-
and you're turning gray too. I see that one.
Maybe I already did that.
You want to say?
You just wanna hire the more, okay?
Yeah.
For how long?
Until you have no violations.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe, give me the phone number, and then I call the community, and then.
Okay, so what do we do in the meantime until you hire Maureen Lee and this kitchen manager?
So which one you know me hire the kitchen manager or hire the consultant?
Both.
You're gonna have to have both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It has to be sooner than later because you can't stay open
Okay, I hire the both,
those conditions.
all right. I hire them both, tomorrow I call the community.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be done sooner than later
Yeah,
or the restaurant
I
has
do
to
it,
close.
yeah, I do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Call the community.
And until you get someone, I guess you're just gonna have to work at it and make them understand this is what's gonna happen.
Yes, I believe.
Or the restaurant's gonna close and everybody will be out of a job.
No more
Yes.
Mr. Nice Guy.
That's right, no more
Okay.
Mr.
I
Nice Guy.
will do the breakfast for
Yeah,
you.
no more Mr. Nice Guy. You're in charge.
All right.
Yeah, you're in
So
charge.
Sheila, can you help me find the morning?
Yeah,
I can call them, so I can talk to them.
Oh, Sheila will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila.
I have one more thing, you have this report that Shella wrote, right?
Yeah, and then like,
Um,
this is a temperature sensor, right? The
Yeah, you're gonna
39.
take those
Yeah.
papers.
No, not this, you have the report that Shella wrote.
Oh, yeah, I did,
She
I
gets
did.
it right.
And you saw that things in the red, right?
Yes,
So,
this is on the July, since I tell him this is your last, 3 months as a contract, and this why he let it.
no, I'm not.
That's what I asked.
Okay.
We're getting rid of Roger, he's going out crazy.
Yeah, so, anything,
So the problem
anything
is I don't know
about
what
and
she's doing.
shipment,
That's-
to do,
that's
just
what-
hide the morning read, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
We'll make
teacher
it a
minutes.
And then
legal
teacher
statement
minutes,
of work
yeah,
every day.
okay.
But it's
I know,
gonna be
I
reaching out
think,
to
I think
her.
that's,
So I think,
I think
once we
that-
find out when she's available, we can make a determination from there.
About how long?
And if she isn't.
If she's not available, do we need, we need another plan B? Right.
Yeah.
I think we need a plan B if she's not available.
Right.
Do you wanna have someone that's vetted by Shayla and I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll.
You got your work cut out for you, Sheila.
Sounds good.
If Maureen's not available, we can vet another consultant that also could communicate and try to use as a Mandarin or can use.
I have both.
You're both, okay.
But they need to be available tomorrow,
They need to be available.
yeah. Because you can't keep operating at the detriment.
No, it isn't.
And if there's no one available, then we have no other choice.
Right, if you want to make a motion to suspend until you have a consultant in place that's done that training, you have the opportunity to do that.
suspend my
Suspend his
operation.
operations, because of the
That's a little
concern
excessive.
about, the sanitation. You can, also give us a task and ensure that we've vetted food consultant, he can continue to operate. We can say Juan needs to be there at all hours and all times.
That's what you wanna do?
I mean, the first thing for me is, I know there is the report that Roger wrote, it looks like it's not true, but I just want to make sure that, whatever the violation which were mentioned in the Roger report is, hopefully they're not existing anymore, you know? So can we confirm that actually? And if those things are addressed, then I would be okay, you know?
So does it, should he comply with Shayla's inspection, make sure that that's all done, the
Yeah.
violations are listed on the report?
I'm more interested in hers than this other guy, because
Yeah.
I think the other guy was,
Yeah,
She did find similar
Yes, you're right.
violations that he's been noting as well. on
Yeah.
his
Okay,
report.
cool.
So,
Okay.
how about she can go out and do an inspection tomorrow and see that everything's been complied with, and hopefully that gives you a little bit more faith that things are moving in a better direction. And also in the meantime, get a food consultant in line to, take care of what needs to be done. And if you want, you can ask them to come back at the next meeting in September for an update.
Yes. So is it fair to allow it to remain open, but modify the restaurant's hours so he is available at all times? I don't want to close him down because he has no opportunity to make money. I get
Then you
that.
won't be able to pay.
Then he won't be able
Yeah.
to do anything. I understand
Exactly.
that. So if he modifies the hours because his staff is more hygienic when you're there. So you have to be there, but you cannot be there every hour that the restaurant is
well, he
open.
can for a while until they get the new consultant and the,
I can be, but if you guys,
Keep changing his.
request, I can go down there 7 day a week
Okay,
to watch the kitchen. I mean.
that's up, be there be there what hours the restaurant is open.
Yes,
Obtain a vetted consultant,
Yes.
fix all Shayla's violations,
Okay.
and hire a kitchen manager,
I will.
and return in September
Okay.
with a clean report.
Yes.
Yeah. Real clean,
I will.
okay,
Thank you for giving us a chance.
okay,
With that combined, we'll make that motion.
go ahead, make the motion, you got it all combined.
To restate it?
Yeah, restate it,
Yeah,
just,
restate it.
yeah, restate it,
Word for word.
All right,
and make a
we
motion.
make a motion to allow Purple Bamboo at 265 Boston Road to remain open with the following conditions. Hiring a new kitchen manager, hiring a new vetted consultant, vetted from the Board of Health. Fix all Shayla's violations. Be on site to supervise kitchen staff every hour that the restaurant is open. Return to us in September with a clean report.
There you go, Warren.
Thank you.
So we in a second,
Second.
for the long one, all those in favor?
Aye. There you go.
Kitchen manager, consultant, Shayla's violations, hours to be on site.
Stop holding your chest, you're making me nervous.
Yeah.
Because I'm a small business, couple of families that behind me, so they depend on. So I just, this is a worry about it.
But the public depends on you.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
can be, this is why I worry about myself too, this is why I be go there, make sure I push them hard to the more cleaner and listen to the health department.
Okay.
Okay, can you please, the quality,
Kelly, you wanna be a manager?
Yeah, I be. So can I leave now?
Yeah, you, Kelly.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
Bye, Warren.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, moving smartly.
yeah.
Tobacco regulations amendment discussion.
We can, so, if you wanna open this meeting up to, the public, or this
Yeah.
portion, you can open the
Okay.
meeting to the public who are here. We
Meeting is
can,
open to the public.
we can discuss it, we can invite the public to comment, who's here, so.
Do we have the comment?
We should be discussed
If you want
first,
to,
or
look very easy to say something.
Okay. We'll let you folks speak first.
They can see.
You have to,
Just went out.
name and address.
Identify.
My name is Leslie Cannon. I am the exalted ruler of the Billerica Elks. And my home address is 851 Boston Road, Billerica, Mass. And this is Mike Rogers. He's on our board of directors.
Like 14 Horton Lane in Billerica, Mass. I apologize for the leisurely attire. I wasn't expecting to be here. Left the house at 5 this morning and haven't been home from work yet.
Feel free.
Hi, Rogers, and you're on.
14 Horton Lane in Billerica.
And just for the record, neither one of us smoke. We have more members back there, and out of them, only one person smokes. I'd like to speak on some of the comments that were made at the last meeting. We are not planning on stacking the hall with smokers. We have smokers and non-smokers that are unhappy with this. It is like you're coming into our home and telling us we can't smoke in our own home. We pay a good amount of money each year to be a member of our club. I've read one of the letters that states that in our kitchen, there are people who have cigarettes hanging out of their mouth. That's an absolute lie. I have been on the house committee and in that kitchen for the past 8 years. No one smokes in that kitchen at all. Our members are all 21 and above. There is no one under the age of 21 allowed in our club quarters. All are adults. They have all signed their contract. They have all come in and been installed, knowing that it's smoking, and they pay their money to come in, and they know it's smoking. I have a big issue with us being shut down. No one said that we'll close down if there's no smoking. The exact statements are, if we go non-smoking, we will lose clientele. And the problem with that is we give our money back to this town. I don't know if all of you know what the Billerick Elks does for this community. We spend thousands of dollars back to this community. And it's all through donations of people that are in there. We were able to feed 70 families from the town of Billerica last year for Thanksgiving. Christmas, we fed them all. We gave them toys and clothes to give to their children. That's all on donations by having our members come. The food pantry benefits from us every year. We've given large donations. We've donated to have the tree lighting in the center. The year they did the fireworks, that was because we got a good donation and gave it to the town. That is what will be detrimental if we go non-smoking. It will affect the town as well as us as a club. We have put in a system. We spent $26,000 on the first system. 25,000 on the first system. I'm gonna let Mike speak on the new system that we are looking for, and I have copies of the new system for everybody. You're welcome.
So if I may, before we get to this, to echo off of some of the comments that Leslie's made. Our club has been around since about 1955. I'm a 39-year member of the club. Myself, I'm a non-smoker. Every member that is a member of that lodge knows that it's a non-smoke, that it's a smoking lodge. There's no surprises. You can't come to the lodge and say, I want to be a member, and you become a member that day. There's a vetting process. Bobby, I believe you're a member of 50+ years of the lodge. He understands how the vetting process works there. We're a democratic club where majority rules. We have 1,300 members. You have 2 letters, which the letters aren't accurate in the statements that are being made. No one has come before the lodge at a meeting at any time. We have meetings twice a month. At any time, a member can come up and make a proposal in front of the lodge to go smoking or non-smoking. There's no, you can make it this week, someone could come the next meeting and make it. So there's no restrictions for someone to do this, and we don't even know if these people are members of our lodge. We don't know if it's the same person that wrote it. It's an anonymous letter causing 1,300 people to be affected from it. Again, we're a democracy. We vote on we voted on it before. The membership right now, unfortunately, is a smoking lodge. Again, being redundant, 39-year member, I knew it was smoking. The newest member that was brought into the lodge, the last class we had, and I think it was May, they know it. It's part of the indoctrination process. They can fully understand that it's a smoking lodge. So that's one of the things that affects the lodge. But as far as the non-smoking system, back in, because again, we're compassionate to the non-smokers. So what we did as a board of trustees, is we spent about $5,000, give or take, to have our HVAC system on the members side, which is separate from our lot, any main halls or anything. And I have to quickly jump to this. In one of the letters, it says that the main halls smell of cigarettes and everything else. That's far from the truth. That's again, another inaccuracy in that letter that was written. So what we did as a board, as a non-smoker, I'm in licensed HVAC mechanic by the state of Massachusetts. we had a system evaluated, we paid about $5,000. And then the next step was to go to a smoke heater system so that we can make both sides of the aisle happy. So that's a proposal that we put to the membership, and we kind of pulled the reins back on a little bit because the rumors hit the street that a letter was written to the Board of Health and that we were gonna go through this process. So we just held back until we found out what the resolution was gonna be or the determination of the board.
Let's see what we have for questions. Amit, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so, first about this, air cleaner unit, when you started this process?
It was back in, I wanna say March, well, we had our HVAC system evaluated first. I don't wanna be inactive with the dates, but it was late winter, early spring that we went into it. Now, that's not to say that that's the one that we were gonna go with per se, so I don't wanna confuse the people here. But that's the avenue that we're looking to go for, is a system just like that. That, in talking with the manufacturer rep, is what's used in hookah bars. That in cigar bars. So I don't know if there's a link in there that you can click on the YouTube video that shows that a demonstration of the Blue Ox.
You can also go online and look it up too.
Right, and they show how fast it removes the smoke from the building.
And how many units are planning to purchase?
So in working with that company, we gave them the square footage of our building, a map. They had 5 that they proposed for us to get.
The pictures in there of it.
So when they give the direction of flow is how it works. It just kind of goes, if this was the room, we would go this way, this way, this way, this way, kind of just so like a big loop.
Okay, and, with respect to the members, right, do you have any idea of what is the percentage of the members who smoke and the members who don't smoke?
Are you asking if, can you be more?
So like,
Percentage smokers versus non-smokers.
The percentage of,
Yeah.
so
We left tonight, there was 26 members there, 80% of them smoked.
so you said 80% of the
They were
members
smoking.
is smoking and 20% don't.
no, that's an arbitrary number from tonight. There's no way to.
But
I mean,
it's
we could,
still,
we could run a poll with the lodge, the members, and say who smokes and who doesn't smoke. But we couldn't stand here and give you an accurate number and say, out of 1,300 members, 957
no,
smoke.
I'm not asking about the exact number, just percentage.
Yeah.
Is it so, I would say it is safe to say that majority of the members of the club smoke.
I would say so. I would say so.
You would say what?
I would say that I want to say the majority. I wouldn't say vast majority, but I would say majority of the members smoke. Some of them
They
smoke.
do smoke?
Do
I
smoke.
believe,
The vast majority of the members smoke.
I believe.
Okay.
In the lounge for the most part.
It can only be in our grill room, can't be anywhere else in the lodge, it can't be our main hall, it can't be our small hall, it's only allowed in our main hall.
Bobby,
I mean, our grill room.
as a member, what do you think the percentage is?
Probably 85-15. That 85 do not smoke.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
How many people smoke anywhere? You go, before when we were kids, if you sat at a table at a wedding, 10 out of 10 smoked, and then all of a sudden it was 2 out of 10, or 1 out of 10. Most people know that secondhand smoke are very hazardous for your health.
I understand that in a public forum, I would agree with you that we should somehow regulate that, but this is a private environment where grown adults know what they're going into.
And the people that come in and complain about people smoking, they won't be badgered or bullied?
No,
Okay. Okay,
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the major concern I have, like, I'm not asking for the exact number and all, but this is the major issue, like, what is the percentage of the members who are the smoker and the percentage who are the not smokers, you know, because like you said, this is like, you know, this is a major point, right, I think, so I really want to know actually, you know, and I'm not asking exact number, but I need to know.
We would,
percentage.
I mean, the only way we can do it is reach out to the membership and you have do you smoke or you don't smoke?
Yeah. If you install this, will it take care of the main hall, the middle hall?
The main hall is no effect by the smoking in the members lounge.
But this will not help, whether it does or it doesn't. This will not help whether they smoke in the big hall or not. I know they
There's no
don't.
smoking allowed in
I understand that. In the middle hall, they don't. But stuff does get into the air. So
That's
this
why
is
we have a
mainly,
double door system.
yeah, this is mainly for that room that's on the side. I don't
It's
know.
the only section of the lodge that is a smoking part of our lodge.
But there's a door that goes from the guest smoking area into the big hall, am I right?
Two doors.
Double door.
There's two double doors.
There's a gap in between both those doors. There's actually a storage room in between those. And then on the other side, we have our walk-in cooler. That
Yeah, your
is in
kitchen
the
is
double
there
doors.
too,
Uh,
and there's a kitchen
The kitchen's in the middle between the
Right.
big hall and the small hall.
and the small hall.
so that's not even near.
Yeah, and then again, there's no smoking on that side. Any public side of the club, there is zero smoking, even at our pavilion.
Never had any complaints from anybody who's rented our hall that there's no smoke, nothing.
Any more questions for Rick?
No. I would
Sandra?
just like to add one more thing, if I could, please. I would also like to see, I'm sorry, Bobby, but I would like to see you recluse yourself from voting. You have a conflict of interest, you're a 50-year member, and we also do business with you. And I don't think it would be proper that you stay for the vote.
I'm on the board of health.
Yep.
And we worry about the health of
I
everybody,
fully understand that.
okay?
I
So
fully
I'm not
understand
gonna
that.
recuse myself. That's number one. That doesn't mean I'm gonna vote in favor of being smoking or not.
And today we are gonna talk about the amendment, you know, like, so, you know, I mean, there's other, you know, because that apply to the whole town actually, so, you know.
It affects more than just your club. There are other private clubs as well that have smoking. So it's not just your club that is under consideration. Your club is looking at a $12,000 to $15,000 system.
35 to 40,000 for that one.
I think.
Well, that was with installation and everything. else.
Okay, I was gonna say, the estimate says 12,800 on it, so that's why,
That's for the,
that's just for the units and then the installation. Okay. So your club is looking at $35,000 investment. Other clubs may not be willing to do that. Your club does not allow smoking and has a smoke heater system now that takes the smoke out of the main hall and the small hall. Because there is no smoking in those. The smoke does not permeate those sections.
Correct.
Other clubs do not have the same thing. So making a ruling would affect all clubs, not just your club when you're trying to do these mitigations. So it's a lot of different things to consider. I can go into other clubs and have an asthma attack. I can go into your club, and not have an asthma attack. So I
I can
understand the
appreciate
difference.
that. I suffer from asthma.
I
I
can
appreciate that.
understand the differences and I do take that seriously.
Yes.
So it's a lot of information that is being considered.
Again, the information that you're reading on those smoke heaters we were being preemptive and before any of this happened. We were in the, development stage, keep both sides of our membership happy.
The dates are on the estimates and quotes, I see that.
Thank you.
I just don't want the town to suffer either because of it. That's my biggest
I
fear.
understand that. I understand that as well. And I don't think I think tonight's gathering information night, because I think we were waiting for a council decision. So I think tonight is a gathering information.
That's why we're here to give you some of the information.
Larry,
Hearing, speak on.
Just like to address that question that you had asked.
you gotta give me
Thank you
a
for presenting the information about complaints.
Oh, yes,
I appreciate that.
yes. And again, we're a private membership, and if we knew who they were, we could at least look up and see if they were members that made these complaints. I do know Tewksbury Wilmington did go non-smoking, and a lot of their members is coming down to our club. I don't know if it was somebody from there that could have wrote the letter, we don't know, so.
Just
You have something to say.
name and address, please. You ready?
Come up here.
Come on up so we can hear you.
Name and address.
My name is Larry Crean, CREHAN, 6 Meadow Run Road, Oregon. CREHAN. 6 Meadow Run Road.
Thank
you. So, I've been up there, I've been a member for over 14 years up there, so I'm a lifetime non-smoker. I came into this club knowing that there was gonna be smoking. I'm up there quite a bit, and I don't get badgered or harassed or anything. I'm for the smoking with the smoke eaters that we can get in there, and that's what the majority of the people will, that, if we did that, it'd be great. You'd have, we'd probably have an increase in membership as well with the smokers and the non-smokers. So that's, I just want to let you know that no one up there is getting badgered or anything because of non-smokers. And there's quite a few non-smokers that still go up there with the smoke.
They've had smoke eaters in there for years.
No, we haven't had smoke eaters in quite a while, Bobby. What they put
Okay, but
in,
when they put the new ones in several years ago,
we didn't put new ones in several years ago. They put one system in.
20 years ago,
When they redid the upstairs,
and it never worked.
okay?
They never worked.
We just had our HVAC system. Again, we had it evaluated. I'm not gonna disagree with you, but we.
Yeah, no, I know. And I've been a member for a while, so I
No, I
know.
fully understand that.
And so I know how it works. And personally, I think more people will come there if it's non-smoking than where it's smoking. Well, that's your opinion, Leslie, and believe it or not, I'm entitled to mine.
No, you are.
And there'll be more people come there if there's non-smoking. And years ago, before COVID, we took a vote, we voted to go non-smoking. 2 months later, they stacked the meeting, the smokers did, and it went back to smoking.
May I address
So
that?
what were you gonna,
May
what
I-
are we gonna do, fight them every 2 months?
May I address that? The meeting wasn't stacked. The meeting that where this non-smoking vote came was the last meeting the week before Christmas. The memberships just didn't get there. As soon as it went non-smoking, the place emptied out. It went back to the floor again, just like I described earlier, that any member that is non-smoking in this letter said that they came to a meeting. They went back to someone came to the meeting, made a motion to go non-smoking, we need to go back to smoking. We have to do a notification of membership. And we had to vote at our next meeting, and it's significant, it had to pass by 2/3 of the majority of the members in the room. I think it was, I don't wanna say 300 to 100, it was less than 100,
Not 400 people there.
it was 300.
Oh, yeah.
They had
I was
to
there.
at least.
We have.
I was there at that
we-
meeting too.
Another thing, before COVID, this was discussed, going non-smoking.
No.
And, yeah, no, it was discussed at the lodge, or with me, with people down the
I
lodge.
was on the board of trustees then, it was my second term on the board of trustees. It was not brought up since the second vote.
It was discussed to put a smoking room on the back and have the Shawshing Executive build it.
I don't know who was discussed with, Bobby, but again, I was on the chairman of the,
Oh, it might not have came to the board, but it was definitely discussed in the lodge.
well, it could have been discussed by 3 people sitting sitting at a table that were up there after work and said, geez, they should really put in a smoking room outside.
No, I think more than 2 or 3 people have discussed it, but who am I? I have my opinion.
No, I fully understand it. I've known your opinion for years now on how you feel.
And the Elks, the VFW will all be better off if it was non-smoking, and I believe more people would go there.
Okay,
And that's my opinion.
right.
And I've also been told that this thing about secondhand smoking being dangerous to people's health, I've been told when I've made that statement, that it's allegedly, well, there's facts that prove that secondhand
I've
smoking.
never said a gentleman who's saying,
No, it
whoever's
doesn't
saying
matter.
that it allegedly is not informed or educated on smoking.
Well, that's what people think. And if you don't wanna smoke, don't go in there. Well, let the smokers pay, let the non-smokers not have to pay dues.
So I can obviously sense your frustration.
No,
It's demonstrated.
I'm not- No, I was told not to speak, not to recuse myself. Why? I'm on the board of health. This is a health
I
issue.
just did it, that did come from me, sir.
No, I know.
It came from me, and again, it's a conflict of interest,
Uh,
because you
why
have
is-
other,
That's her opinion, the same way your opinion.
Well,
on
why is it a
accepting
conflict of
smoking.
interest? What's the reason?
we do
'Cause I'm a member?
business with you, and you've been a 50-year member.
You what?
We do business with you.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
No, because I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know where we're going. with
No,
this.
we're not going anywhere tonight.
Just to be full disclosure, I have a call into the attorney to see if I have a conflict of interest because of being a member of the VFW Auxiliary, being a recipient of your grants, being a member of the Board of Health. I am seeking an attorney's opinion to see if I have a conflict of interest.
I can appreciate that.
So I
We
cannot,
really do appreciate it.
so the call was put into him today, and I will have a decision shortly.
So one of the things we came here, Sandra, was we watched I don't know if it was a surprise to us, the June meeting, I think it was. And I know there was some questions and uncertainty about the lodge and how membership, is there smoking everywhere else? And that's what we thought we were answering tonight, is trying to, I don't want to say educate, probably a bit, inform you of what we are doing in the avenues that we're taking well in front of that, because there's 1,300 of us. We're a benevolent organization. We donate a lot to very causes. So we care about our non-smoking members as much as we care about our smoking members. Again, the surprise shouldn't, no one's surprised. 39 years been a member there. When I went the other day to sign up, it was smoking. Bobby's 50-something years a member. The day he pulled his membership, it was smoking. So for someone.
But it's not on the application that it's going to be smoking lodge.
It's explained in the, so it's not in the, you're 100% correct, it's not in the application. But you don't fill out the application, put it, slide it through a window, and the window's closed, and we call you on the phone 4 months later and say, hey, congratulations, you come into the lodge. You're on a probationary period by being, we call it going through an investigation process. So you're in and out of the lodge. And when you go to, we have the night that we're bringing members in, the night before, we call it indoctrination. So the members are notified at that point that it's a smoking lodge. Remember, it's a smoking lodge. So it's no surprise to any of the members. What it seems to be is there's non-smoking members that are frustrated is what it is. And that shouldn't be, to join a club of 1,300 people knowing that, and then to change your heart or change your opinion 2 years, 3 years, 3 months later is.
Are all members of the club aware of the hazards of secondhand smoke?
Bobby, I can't speak to 1,300 members. I can't speak, I don't know what your opinion is. I can't speak to that.
Well, I know
That's a
that
fair question.
secondhand smoke is
I
hazardous
understand
to
that.
everybody's health.
I understand that, but I can't speak, you're asking me to speak for 1,300 members. That's just impossible for me to do. And it wouldn't be fair for me to speak to, that'd be like me speaking for you. I can't do that. I can speak for
But you think
myself.
they're aware of smoking?
Bobby, I think everybody is.
They're aware that it's hazardous to people's health?
I would agree if you were asking my opinion. I think the vast majority of adults in the United States of America, probably the world, fully understand the dangers of smoking and secondhand smoke. There's commercials on TV.
So, just bring it back on track. There are many,
What way to go on?
there are many communities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that have banned smoking.
Oh, absolutely. I'm aware of
And
that.
there are many others that have not, and I understand the infringement on private rights. I get that. It's not an easy decision regardless of which side you're sitting on.
Mhm.
I think that
Not running that one. I can have it.
How many other clubs have a section, a special section for special
the
people?
VFW has a section for smoking at the bar, and that is members only.
At the back, is it separated?
But that,
Come on. Come on.
the VFW has the bar side and then it has the hall,
Are you talking
Oh,
about?
the same thing, the grill.
the grill
Oh,
room
I
and
thought
the
you were
hall.
saying the people that sat in
No, no,
a
no,
table.
no, no.
Same thing.
But I can tell you that the VFW system is not the same as this system. So there are a lot of difficult things to take into consideration.
Absolutely.
And it's not, unfortunately, it's a decision that's going to affect
A lot
a
of people.
lot of people. And it's not one that's being made lightly, and it's a lot of
We only came
information.
tonight to
Give
voice what
information.
we do and what we do with our money that we get and everything. And to inform you, we were looking into a system. We understand the importance of smoking and secondhand smoke, and we were trying to make it better for the people. It's just that these letters are very irritating because a lot of it is misinformation for you people.
What's the misinformation?
Excuse me, I
We
mean,
don't smoke in our kitchen. Nobody has come before us and said, we wanna go non-smoking. Nobody has showed up at the meetings.
And if they
You
came
have to
before
take
you,
this under
go with
advisement.
yeah.
floor or not, do you think it would pass?
Well, it's funny, it's a democracy. It would be however the members felt, right?
Can I ask you,
Mr. Chairman, please.
can I ask the last question?
I didn't say that, but I respect you should respect.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have a question down
This
here.
last question, like, why you didn't look for this kind of system, last year or before that?
Well, I think to go towards that is we're just, we're trying to make it better for both sides. I'm a non-smoker. I'm the one that started driving towards this. I'm the one that made the proposal about having our HVAC system checked out and telling us what we have. We do have a smoke heater there. It does work. It was a mechanical contractor checked it out. We got a report from that. But we wanted to make it better for both non-smoker and the smokers of our lodge, to make everybody, again, to go back to Leslie's opening statement, it's our home. So we're trying to make it good for the smokers and the non-smokers. That was the best system that we found.
Yeah, I agree that, I mean, that system exists in the place, but I'm just very bothered by the fact you started this procedure this year, given that this issue was raised in 2020.
I'm sorry, sir.
I mean, given that similar issue was raised in 2020, but you started looking for this kind of system just this year, I'm really bothered by that.
Well, because there is a smoking system that's in there, but we just wanted to make life better for the smokers and non-smokers, so people can
We
be
wanna improve the air quality.
on both sides, it's just, we were never gonna step back and say, this is the way it should be. Well, all right, it's like anything, how do you make improvements? You make improvements because of some deteriorates, right? And we had the Purple Bamboo here earlier, and you work with them to make things better, right, for the public. Right, that's all we were trying to do, that's how we looked at it with our members. Is to try to make things better, and ironically, now we ran into this headwind where smoking's coming, brought in front of us. We questioned, was it these two letters that sparked the all of a sudden us coming to this point, or?
Oh, what would it
I mean, look, like, we are the board, right, and we have to act on the
No, I understand
complaint,
that.
right, so we are not gonna,
But
investigate.
I know you are.
Whether it was
It's
written.
me. I don't go to the outside.
Bobby,
Yeah.
please, that's not
We're
me.
not accusing
I'm not-
anybody of anything,
That's
because we
an
just
unfair
have
statement.
letters that aren't signed.
That's unfair. We have two letters that are unsigned, right? it looked like they were sent within a week and a half or 2 weeks each other. There's also a letter here that was sent by a non-smoking member of the lodge that was just sent because of this, so to have 2 letters spark this and then dismiss everything else, it
Who
just
dismissed
seems
it?
to be
What has been dismissed, Michael?
our efforts to try to make things better, like, we didn't speak to the letter that the gentleman also speaking to us, this stuff, which
We didn't speak to the letter from the non-smoker, from Mr. Joy?
I didn't
They
really
said-
speak to it.
No, that said that anyone that doesn't sign a letter is a
It's a
coward.
coward.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
Oh.
it's there.
But, and again, that's his opinion, like, you have your
Yeah.
opinion.
It's been discussed
Then why not, why
last
sign your name to
meeting.
be there? It's bullet.
It's in the minutes of the meeting.
The last meeting?
Right now,
Last
this is
meeting
going nowhere,
in
Mr. Chairman.
July.
That's okay.
Can we take this under advisement and do something?
Okay,
Yeah, we're gonna be at the hearing in September. This was
Okay.
just to bring you information.
Okay.
okay.
As far as we're concerned, we're good.
I would think I understand that there's other clubs that maybe are not as being aggressive or proactive as we've already, and as you can, Sandra, as you stated, the dates are there. We did this well in front of this, not knowing that this was coming. If the board is gonna go in the direction of a non-smoke, maybe look to restrictions to something like that. So if a club doesn't want to improve their air situation, then maybe that's the route to go, the same way that we,
Yeah.
put restrictions on the gentleman that was here earlier. I just hope you guys will take that into consideration.
Take everything in.
No, I understand that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the
Because my-
information.
Thank you very much,
my-
Rosalie.
yours, that
Thank
doesn't
you for
need to
living
be
in
on.
Boston.
No, right. We're
Marie,
still
tell
brothers.
Tina I said hi.
She's home with her, she's home with my husband.
I feel that way.
I feel that way as well.
Okay.
I feel that way as well. But
Thank
thank you very much. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys next
Thank
month.
you.
on the 9th.
September
Thank
9th.
you. Will be in this room, because I think there's gonna be.
I think it might be the auditorium.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And like I reiterated with you, we will make sure that our members are courteous to you guys.
Thank you.
We
We don't
appreciate
have
that.
any
Thank you.
doubt that they would be. I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Michael Kelly, for coming tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly.
Thank you for leaving.
Au revoir.
Thank you so much for letting me.
Who said motion to adjourn?
I just did.
Who seconded it?
Second.
All those in favor?
Because next month is gonna be.
Very good.